Well, when Bashar al-Assad was spirited out of Syria last week, it was from the Russian base in Latakia province. The area is home to the Muslim Alawite sect, which the Assad family is part of. It makes up only 10% of the country's population, but provided much of his political and military leadership. So there were fears of bloody reprisals as rebel groups took over running Syria. Our senior correspondent Quentin Sommerville and camera journalist Darren Conway have reached the region to see how this divided community is dealing with a new reality.
This is who rules Latakia and much of Syria now. The Sunni ranks of Hayat Tahrir al-Sham. A little over a week ago, they were enemies of the state. Now they are the law of the land. In a city of regime loyalists, every call-out is a show of force. Still, they are greeted as liberators, and these young fighters are now the city's police force. They're headed to deal with an assault in this neighbourhood. Weapons have been drawn. They move fast to find the suspects, who they believe are still armed. As they set up a cordon, neighbours identify men and accuse them of links to the former regime. Across Syria, scores are being settled. After years of oppression, here on the streets, there's a thirst for vengeance. It's a situation that could easily spiral out of control.
So the man they're arresting is accused of being Shabia, a government informant, a regime informant. The neighbours are screaming from the rooftop that that's exactly what he was. So him, a number of other men are being taken into custody.
You will go to the authorities, and if you are innocent, you will get your rights, God willing. But the wrongdoer will be held accountable.
HTS aren't the only guns in town. Another rebel group is accused of taking an Alawite woman's apartment. Her husband is a regime officer. Alawites, once Syria's ruling class, are now easy prey.
You've stolen this house. Today, you are a thief. This hasn't been coordinated with any faction, so we will act accordingly.
This woman you see up here, we're standing outside her apartment. She's Alawite. She says in the last few days she's been evicted from her apartment by a rival rebel commander. So HTS are here to sort it out.
The things that you took out of this house, return them all, and the house, okay? I don't want anything missing. And if the house is Alawite, does that mean that you need to raid it and destroy it? There are specialized entities that handle this work. You can't just act on your own.
The owner, Noor, gets back inside to retrieve some belongings.
They came and broke down the door and took my house.
This CCTV footage shows the moment of the break-in. Armed rebels arrived and smashed their way into the property. The group's commander moved his family inside. They've now been evicted. But Noor says she feared for her life.
Do Alawites feel safe in Latakia now?
No, never, ever. No, no.
I will leave the moment I get the chance. I need my daughters to survive. This house was built brick by brick with help from my family. And it seems that some people in the neighborhood noticed how nice it was and became envious. Added to this, we're Alawites, and my husband was a high-ranking officer in the regime, which made things even worse. I don't feel secure. I will leave with my daughters when I get the chance.
On Latakia's outskirts, some other residents are also adjusting to the new reality on the ground here. Russia is drawing down its forces. Their ally ousted. At this airbase, at least some of those who waged a brutal military campaign against Syrians are leaving.
Hundreds of Russian vehicles have been congregating here and heading into that airbase right there. Russian troops are still on patrol there. They're moving around. We can see them with their weapons. They're watching us.
Cautiously, we ask if this is a permanent withdrawal.
Are you leaving? Are you leaving Syria?
No.
No?
No.
You're here to stay?
No.
Well, that was pretty definitive. He says he isn't leaving.
No comment, Sadiq.
No comment.
Here in the former regime's heartland, a new order is taking hold. But this has been a long journey, and it won't be born overnight. Quentin Sommerville, BBC News, Latakia.